The guy say, if you prioritize me and get me taken care of today, I will tip you. Okay. Okay. I will put some other jobs off and take that tip. You know, it's tax season. Everybody's rich right now. And I like money to support my vices. So here we are. Sir, your money's going to go to the right going to go to the right place. I don't be paying women. I don't do that. That's not the type of work I do. Hey, look, this got a misfire. I need to fix this misfire. I need to, well, first assess it. Then we can go about resolving it. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. So I'm in the generic portion. Dealing with the camshaft position sensor, B circuit, actuator open, bank 1, oxygen sensor voltage, high, bank 1, sensor 2, cylinder 5 misfire, which is probably going to be if they're odd banked on bank 1. Evap codes, these are all pending, but here's the current ones. All the other ones are still current. Camshaft position, actuator circuit, P0013. This could be oil related. That's what this one could be. Purge valves, irrelevant. Evap, but let's just stay focused and deal with the misfire, because who knows? It may fix other things. And I gotta do an oil change too. So let's check the oil. See what's going on with that, because hopefully the oil is low, which it is. And if it's low, then that will resolve the P0013. Yeah, look at that. Check that out. This is why you should check your dipstick. Yeah, ain't much on there. So when that actuator needs to move, that cam position, that circuit, yeah, that's going to create some problems. Now the problem, one thing that bothers me, let me look further into that code because I tend to overlook stuff. Cam position, B actuator circuit open. And if usually if it's circuit related, it's going to be like the component itself. So I don't like, typically when I deal with circuit faults, it's a component. Why is it open? But I'm hoping, without looking further into it, it gets resolved. So we'll see. Misfire 5. Let me figure out what cylinder 5 is, and I'm gonna start disconnecting coils. So unless this is 1, then 135 is probably going to be in the very back over there. What I could do is just start it up, do the old school method, disconnect the coil and see what happens. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, it's gonna be that one in the back. Just in case this engine is extraordinarily well balanced and, or just happen to not display a misfire. Oh gosh, ignition coil E. Let me see if we can do our alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, which is cylinder 5. Okay, yeah, we're good. Let's pull this airbox and stuff off. Access that coil. He already has an ignition coil. That's what's common. And, just exchange it. See what happens. I didn't have to take that off. I thought I had to take I swear there was a bolt that went through the filter housing. It didn't. So I really don't have to take all this stuff off. I can just pry it up. But for the sake of content, I'm gonna pull everything off just so everybody can see. Let's just pull this off the side here. There's some oil that spilled down here. Some Duralast. Wait a minute. 1, 3, 5. Okay. I forgot it's 8-cylinder. Yeah, 1, 3, 5. So here we are. Let's pull this out. It is an aftermarket coil. Got Duralast written on it. And this is exactly why I never replace every single coil, because they're crap. You replace every single coil, the odds are extremely high for the coils to fail because they're not OEM. And even though I'm a proponent of aftermarket, I already know how crap aftermarket stuff can be. And I can guarantee you, bad new part happens a lot. So if y'all remember the truck that I diagnosed, the guy was like, well, let's just go ahead and replace all the coils. It was a Tahoe, because that's the one that had the bad lifter, the misfire. And I suspected, I said, well, it could be a coil. That's usually what I have to deal with. Well, I changed spark plugs and wires, and can we just replace all the coils? No. And I told him, I said, no, I don't want to replace all the coils, because this is things like this that happen. You put all new stuff in there, and you're shit out of luck because bad brand new part. I mean, it could be a spark plug that we're dealing with. It's not a bad idea to take the spark plug out and inspect it. Even though I put some new ones in there, things happen. But I got my money on this coil being the culprit. So, he already got one. This aftermarket, let's just swap it. We need to add, plugs are rare to fail anyway. They just don't go bad, especially when they're new in most cases. So, and the coil has a higher probability of failing than the coil ever would. It's got grease on it. Out with the old and with the new. And don't get me wrong, my gut, it's not saying anything like, hey, this is a bad idea. But I mean, sometimes this instinctive safety measure isn't proactive in making judgment calls. I feel good about this. Sorry, it's not an in-depth diagnostic video, but he already got it. Let's pop it in there and see what happens. I'm just going off of deductive reasoning and logic. It's just a misfire. Here we go. All right, let's pop this back on. Wait. Okay. Oh man, hitting stuff, breaking stuff. Going back to my roots. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. That sounds amazing. Clear these codes out. All right. Checking the light still on. Let's see what it's on for. But it sounds great. Yep, camshaft, actuator circuit. Yeah, I figure it's going to be like a circuit fault anyway. I mean, it's obviously it's telling you it is. It's just like when you get circuit faults, you just get feedback problems. So I gotta figure out where that thing is located because I don't know. The only thing else I gotta do is change the oil. I can let them know about a circuit fault, and we'll probably just address that another day. And oil's not gonna fix that. Again, circuit faults, no feedback loop, either disconnected sensor or just the broken circuit or broken wires. Simple stuff. Wait just a darn minute. I think I found it. And you know, it's probably my fault too. Let's because I looked down in there. I saw the actuator down there, and we're on bank 1, and I am the last person that did the spark plugs on here. So let me see what. Yeah, let the connector just look. Yeah, the connector's broken. Yeah, let me just pop this on here and see if push it up more. See if it holds better. Let me see if the code clears too. That came back immediately. Yes, following instructions now. I had the car 2 off. That's in history. Engine off. Yep. All right, so that's fixed. Let me still, I gotta put that back to start it up. If it starts up fine, when I push this up in there, then that was our problem. That running. Let's do a reread because it came back immediately. Yep, so that's the problem. I'm gonna fix that connector permanently, and so we don't have any more issues. So that was my fault. I blame myself for that one. But the coil was manufacturer's fault. And all I gotta do is change the oil. We're good to go. So we're gonna do the zip tie thing I seen on the entire net. I think I'm going the right way. All right, take 3 with the zip tie method because the first few didn't work. So I guess I'm gonna try the opposite way here. Luckily, I got a lot of zip ties. All right, there we go. Okay, this is the promising way. Yeah, all right, there we go. Is it gonna work? Yeah, sort of. I mean, it's on there. It's not as tight as it could be. Let's see. Yeah, that's as tight as it's gonna get. It's holding. I think we're fine. So I wonder why they call these things dikes. Don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, we're good. This is holding. Even though I destroyed 2 other ones that didn't work out, this is gonna work out just fine. Let me clean this area with brake clean. Can't have my jobs going out like that. All right, we're gonna put all this stuff back, and I'm gonna change this oil, and we'll be back. Ooh, I got the oil changed. That's knocked out. My oil's full. Look how clean that is. That's a lot better. And I do got it topped off. It's a little more than what's supposed to be in there. I mean, once I get it started, it's going to circulate, and like less than half a quart's going to collect in the oil filter. So that's brand new. You know what's funny? I had a car yesterday. I got a Mazda. I might document as a CX-7. Got a 2.3 turbo. Somebody had wound up double gasketing a oil filter. Like, how did it? But that's the guys that can do it cheaper. I got a story with that car. It's pretty interesting. But it's here to get fixed. Anyway, I digress. I start talking about some miscellaneous stuff. Let's start it up and then check for codes. Heard that little rattle. It was oil starvation. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go to read codes again, see if anything came up. No codes, no misfires, no nothing. We were good, man. This is easy. I'm gonna charge him his normal price and then his ASAP price. So I had to put some other stuff off to the side, and he's good to go. Get out here on to the next one. What I was gonna say, yeah, I had a pretty interesting week with some of these other vehicles. And again, some of them I didn't document because this is off topic. You can leave if you want. I had a Chrysler's 2018, because mind you, I'm starting having to pay for subscriptions now to diagnose these cars, the new ones. So that was the latest, did I say that right? It's 2018, the older ones. I had to do any sort of calibration, active test, coding. You had to pay a security clearance to be able to go through the scan tool to do those functions. This Chrysler, I think it would have been, you have to pay a $200 fee just to be able to do it on this particular car, but it was annual for you. So you have the clearance. So if you pay $200 a year, you will have clearance for Chrysler products or Stellantis or whatever that's his name products. You would have had all those. And BMWs, man, you can't even, you have to have a certification on BMWs to be able to work on the newer ones. So I don't know, man, it's harder and harder to work on these vehicles. Not only that, but technology is bittersweet. And we're having to pay for security clearances just to be able to do things, which is bull crap, because cars are still getting stolen. I don't know, unless that's a preventative measure through engagement with the control area network. Maybe the people who's stealing have to pay the $200 to do it. But then again, if they pay it, they can track who paid for it, I guess. But then they have to recover the car, track the VIN, and all this other stuff. But from a security aspect, that's what I'm trying to reconcile with. But yeah, man, these cars they're a mess. But I didn't have to pay for that because of the issue I was dealing with. It was a misfire. I didn't have to do any active tests, and then he just had bad spark plugs. Here we go. Here's where his spark plugs. This is totally irrelevant. Well, it's spark plug related, but this was his spark plugs. These were Iridium Champions. Yeah, the spark plug there. Look how worn out that is. It's 168,000 miles original plugs. That's crazy. Usually you don't see the ground having such a sharp angle like that. Hey, it's misfire related. But yeah, you have to have, I use a lot of Altel products. The Max Assist that I have, I can connect to the internet and then be able to pay for those subscriptions, like I had to do with the Audi, and then I had to do with the Chrysler. So, but again, I didn't pay for the Chrysler yet. I'll pay it when I need to, but the cost do unfortunately get passed down to the customer. So it is what it is. That's where the assessment fee come into play. If people wonder why do I have to pay for a diagnostic cost, well, because we have to pay. It is what it is. But look, this car's done. It's knocked out. Sorry to get off track. If anything happens and this car has to come back for the misfire, even though they replaced all the coils, I don't remember ever replacing all coils. This car does go to another shop too. You know, it is what it is. No big deal. But I guess they replaced all the coils. I don't know. I mean, I did make my mistake. I corrected it. It's fixed now. But that's not what it came for. But who knows, man? This car may come back for anything. I don't know. These cars are pretty popular with the viewers on the entire net. But if it do have to come back, I'll definitely update. Hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, how to research my work, and I'll see you next one.